Okay, let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin been on a roller coaster ride of sorts over the last couple of weeks. Uh, Hit low 80s, then spiked back up to low 90s, then dropped like yesterday, um, 4 or 5 thousand dollars, and now it's hovering around the 86,000 mark. So, we talked about Bitcoin a few different times on this show, as far as what could potentially happen, what history would say is going to happen if it follows what it has done historically. Um, so Bitcoin right now, we're in a interesting space right now where it could potentially, close the year very strong, or we could see a fall. And it looks like that 80,000 is a hard line that it hasn't really crossed over too hard, but we could potentially fall back into the 70s, and then after that, who knows, free fall. So where do we stand with the current situation when it comes to Bitcoin?
If you're a long-term believer in it, you have to love it at this level and even lower. I'm going to reserve our Bitcoin prices after last week. What price did I tell y'all last week? But from going forward, I'm going to reserve our price for Red Panda Stock Club to take care of the people who joined last week and who will join this week. But if you think that if you think that the American banking system is not going to improve, the fiat is not going to improve, that the debt to GDP ratio is not going to improve, then you have to love Bitcoin at these prices. I don't know how you can love them at 100, but then hate it at 86 currently, and if it possibly gets down to 74,000 and some change. You have to love it. I think everyone is thinking too short-sighted about right now and what to do for the next week, and they're not looking to think what's going to happen over the next 3 months or the next 2 years for where the price could be.
So, this is that emotional intelligence piece that I was speaking about earlier. It's like, what do you think about Nvidia right now that it's 180? I'm like, I like it there, right? What do you think about if it's at 160? I love it there. Well, it's falling. Well, I still love the company because I understand the thesis for it. It's like when you believe in it and you have conviction, it's like, yes, it's going to places that you haven't seen or you didn't get the ability to invest in, right? So when we saw it at 121, you thought it was too high. When it got down to 110, you thought it was too high, right? But it's falling down. When it got to 100, you're like, well, if this thing falls any lower, I might invest. Then it goes to 82 and you think to yourself, damn, it might still go lower. I'm not going to do this. If you believe in Bitcoin and you're going to hold it for the long term, you should invest.
I will say, though, when 27 comes, though, accumulation season.
Well, then there's always a thing of dollar costing. So if you believe in it, you should invest, but not necessarily every single thing that you have in your name.
No.
But you can always, even if you anticipate it going lower at some point, you hedge. You hedge your investment. You put some money in now, and then maybe, when it gets in the 70 range, you put some more money in. And then even if it gets to the 60 range, you put some more money in, because the thing about it is that you have to think that it's going to go up over the course of time if you believe in it. If you don't believe in it, then don't purchase it. But I mean, history has proven that Bitcoin has been the best performing asset class ever created since it was created
for public markets.
So so and like I said, we talked about this on Blackout, but in 2013, Bitcoin, Cyprus banking crisis, Bitcoin went from $2 to $100. And people were thinking that it was too much.
Too high.
And then when I first purchased Bitcoin, it was $5,000. People thought it was too much then. And then it went up to 20,000 and people thought it was a complete scam. And then it fell.
Back
and
to
then
3,000.
So I mean, if you're playing this game with Bitcoin, you gotta have a strong stomach. I don't think that you can really, you just gotta play the long game on it. But like I said, it's very good chances that Bitcoin goes down, but it's a slingshot. It goes down and come back up.
Yeah, that's volatility. That's what. Put your seatbelt on.
Yep.
Or
having cycles matters, but you also have to look at the institutional cycles too. Now Vanguard is having Bitcoin ETFs inflows coming in. That while Sailor is being attacked, that matters. That matters a hell of a lot.
I think that's important too, right? So when we look at the typical cycle, I can't say this is a typical cycle anymore. These aren't regular cycles anymore. When you talk about institutional investing, when you talk about ETF inflows, because in November we saw the largest outflow of Bitcoin ETFs, right? People have sold out of it, so that's different. This wasn't a part of the equation in 2018. It wasn't part of the equation in 2022. It is going to be part of the equation in 2026.
For it, yeah.
So we have to evaluate a little bit different, right? We know, right? We were listening to all these institutional firms saying that it's a scam. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't be involved. All that's done.
Mm-hmm.
All that's done. The paperwork is there. They're all here. This is a space that they are now participating in with retail investors as well. We already know that they're the whales in these positions. So the cycles are going to look a little different. That's why I'm very interested in seeing how it closes out this year and how we run into next year.
Hold for the long term.
That's the most,
because if you look at a decade window, the
Yeah.
returns on a 5-year and 10-year are so astronomical, it almost makes sense to be a bear in that market. When you're looking at the 10-year returns, it can give you that will be the start of generational wealth. Same with Nvidia, same with Microsoft. Like those 10-year hold cycles are really key.
Narrative, ma'am, 978. You have been blocked, but I do love you. The good thing about YouTube is that when you block somebody, they can still watch the show. So you're not banned.
No,
because
stay with us.
But your line of question,
get out, but stay here.
It was too aggressive. And
do we want to clean up the question?
I was trying to, but I didn't fully understand how she was trying to word it. But
I completely missed it.
We have to be careful how we talk to each other. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're running your business, you're gonna have to deal with customer service issues. Like, somebody might come into your restaurant and they might want things, and how you deal with the customer is extremely important. But how the customer deals with you is even more important. So
client selection will make or break your business.
So vitally important. You get the experience of the energy that you put out. That's the experience that you're going to get back.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have asked the question in a more respectful, polite manner, I'm sure we would have answered it. But you asked it in a very aggressive, disturbingly aggressive manner, and now you won't get your question answered. So was it worth it?
I want to see. I gotta pull up this. Oh, you got it there,
Edwin. Can somebody do you rephrase the question in the next way?
Damn. I'm gonna start reading these chats.
To Edwin.
Shout out to Edwin, my guy, a legend.